right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another edition of Top Rope Wrestling Talk. It's been a couple of weeks now, mainly because we've just had personal shit going on. Like, I wish this was a job, it isn't, so we got to be out there making our money. And the good news is, I went and fought off a cell of Dark Order members to get our clown back. So please welcome the one, the only, the snarky semi-stoned clown himself, Jose. And of course, you know me. I am the one, the only, the South Philly psycho himself, Dom.
Hey yo!
And I cannot confirm confirm or deny that Matt Hardy is the Exalted One.
Could be Raven, could be Matt Hardy. We might find out this Saturday. But before we get into Revolution, which I really want to talk about, I think we kind of have to talk about Super Showdown, even though I don't want to. I really don't, but we have to.
I guess it
It's
happened.
Like, I'm looking here and it says we're contractually obligated. So yeah, it took place.
If titles didn't change hands, we really wouldn't have had to. So.
We really wouldn't have had to. I mean, we had Miz and Morrison win the SmackDown Tag Team titles, which, if you did watch, because I saw we had Evan put up a thread for it.
I didn't watch, but I heard that Corey Graves gave it away before the match even happened.
I actually went back and double checked, and yes, Corey Graves spoiled the ending of the match.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Anybody even got in the ring? Like, Miz and Morrison were coming down the ramp, and he's like, "They're going to be great champions for years to come." It was like, whoa, hold up, Corey. I don't know if it's the heat or all this new shit with Carmella, but something's going. You're way ahead. You're off script. Like, you're on page 12. You need to be on page 10. I don't know what happened. But yeah, there was that, and if that was all, we wouldn't have had to probably talk about it. But then of course we got to the main event, and we got to Goldberg versus The Fiend, and we got Goldberg as the new Universal Champion, and I can see Jose's already just jittery. So let's get to you first. What was your reaction to Goldberg beating The Fiend when you found out?
I had no reaction because I have no faith in WWE anymore.
Okay, so it was basically like, oh, another day in WWE history.
Yeah, another trash match.
I mean, we had some wild reactions because, as I said, we let our number one mark, Evil Evan, do a discussion thread for this since he's on the West Coast and he was home and he wanted to. And when Goldberg won the title, I mean, the reactions were just...
Oh, the internet went fucking crazy, bro.
Our group went fucking crazy, bro. Like, we had our buddy Marshall, a.k.a. Donuts, just literally come in and say, what the phenomenal fuck. And then, of course, our boy Philip, he came back in saying that basically Vince is hell-bent on making WWE as basic as it can be. Like, he's trying to turn WWE into Bailey. Everything's Bailey. The problem is people
hating on the booty. Hating on the booty.
I mean, the booty's fine. The rest of it is basic, and that's the problem. Even Evil Evan, that's a lot of E's, came in and said, "Now that's what I call fucking yikes."
True.
Our group is crazy, y'all. I'll give you one more. Pete actually said, at this rate, AEW and TNA don't even have to do anything. They just sit around and wait for WWE to fuck up. Fair enough.
Impact, yes. AEW, yeah, they got a lot more to do.
They're getting there. They're getting there. It was crazy to me when I was at work and I started seeing my phone blow up. I started getting private message from group members, and they're saying, like, "You're not gonna believe what happened. You're not gonna believe what happened." And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Goldberg just won," and I thought I was getting punked. I was like, "Fuck out of here! There's no way in the world that he
Bruce organized a group prank on you, bro."
I seriously thought it was gonna be Frank. I really did. I thought people were fucking with me while I was, doing my thing. And then all of a sudden I got an actual like WWE update because you get those little notifications
Yep.
from the network. Like Goldberg is the new, and I went, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I did go back and I skimmed through everything just to make sure, and the match itself was god awful. I think Goldberg hit him with like 5 spears, 2 knees, and half a jackhammer because he couldn't really get him up. He just kind of hoisted him and power slammed him instead of like doing the suplex part and then coming over. So, and it was one jackhammer. It wasn't like, he hit him with like 5 spears, one jackhammer, done. And the Fiend did pop up afterwards and he looked pissed and then he just disappeared. And there was Goldberg celebrating with the fireworks going off and all this other bullshit. And I'm thinking, why?
Where they fucked up was it having Goldberg face the Fiend. Goldberg should have beat Bray Wyatt and not the Fiend. Bray should have lost. And then when Goldberg is on the ropes celebrating with the title, the lights go out and the Fiend comes out and takes out Goldberg. That way the Fiend still has his...
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. But if anything, considering where they were and how the Saudis loved the nostalgia and everything, instead of having like Brock Lesnar squash Ricochet like 45 seconds after he talked all that shit, just have Goldberg fight Lesnar again. And let the Fiend take on somebody else. Like, keep him what? Because the hottest thing in WWE right now is the Fiend. And they basically just poured a bucket of cold water on that.
I honestly thought they were going to have Kane come out and knock out Brock Lesnar.
I thought something was going to...
Velasquez. That would have been...
I thought something was going to happen, and all that happened was Ricochet got his ass whipped. It was scary. It was like, I think somewhere here I have the audio from the match. Hold on. Bell rang. Bell rang again. And he talked all that smack over and over, saying, "Oh, Brock Lesnar is going to realize the kind of competitor I am, and this is not a joke, and blah blah blah." And then literally dead. Thanks for coming. Like it just it didn't feel right. Like nothing about
the point. There was no point to it.
Made a point, felt right. Nothing. It was just sloppy, to be totally honest. And now, as our lovely clown brought up to me, there's a chance we might not even get WrestleMania in Tampa, right?
They're all afraid of that virus.
They're all afraid of coronavirus. They ain't got no limes to counteract it. But I think, if you look at it at the end of the day, if WWE is worried about anything, it's about putting that money in the bank. No pun intended. And there is no way on earth that they're going to cancel WrestleMania weekend. No way. I know Stephanie has said something about it. I know they've voiced their concerns, but they're not canceling that shit. How much money do they stand to lose if they cancel WrestleMania weekend? I'm guessing it's a lot. I mean, it's got to be.
That's all they got left.
I mean, we're probably talking millions, like easily. They're not canceling that shit, folks. I don't care what you say. You can sit here and say, "Oh, we're worried about this, that, the other," but I guarantee you that shit's gonna happen. It's gonna happen in Tampa, and people are probably gonna show up in masks like it's Japan or Saudi Arabia or some shit.
Fuck it, Cena's gonna be the 17-time champ. Woohoo!
Who cares?
Fuck it all, because it doesn't matter anymore.
You know what matters?
Cena's number one.
You know what matters? I'm catching up to all them in group titles. That's what matters. 14 happened. Just
look here. All I need is Mox not to win, and I'm good. Because all of y'all don't pick Jerry. Everybody don't pick Mox.
Doesn't win, you're in there. Barring the rest of the pay-per-view and the tiebreakers and a few other things. But basically, if the hobo loses, you're in.
Yes.
I guess we could probably go in and just kind of preview some of these matches and make some picks and go over AEW Revolution because fuck, we ain't got much else.
I know.
Certainly, I mean, I could sit here and bitch about Goldberg winning all night, but it's just not going to be a good show, and it's not going to be fun. And I'm trying to have some kind of fun on a Friday night.
Yeah, and the Muppets apparently like Goldberg in our group, so,
Fucking Muppets.
Waka waka.
Muppets, man. I love having that. I really do. All right, so let's start with some of the singles matches, the other work towards titles matches. The one that I'm interested in that they actually added on Dynamite this past Wednesday is Pac versus none other than the debuting freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. It's his first AEW match. Who do you think's going to win this thing, man?
Oh, Pac is going to annihilate Orange Cassidy, but I can't wait to see how it gets done.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Pac's going to win, but at least we get to see Orange Cassidy in an AEW ring. I want to see what he does. I want to see what they're going to allow him to kind of bring in from like his indie run and where.
And I want to see if Pac is going to play along.
Oh, with the world's most dangerous kicks.
Yep. Or is he just gonna be like, "Fuck you," and just take him out?
He's just gonna knock his head off when Orange Cassidy puts his hands in his pants. Fuck you. It's probably a no-brainer that Pac is gonna win, but that does not make it an uninteresting match. I want to see how it goes. I want to see what they let Orange Cassidy do. I want to see if Pac will sell this shit and play along, or if he'll just shit all over him. It's got a lot to it. But yeah, I can't argue that when Pac's gonna win. That's pretty obvious. Our next singles match is man, and I don't know if you've been watching the show because we had you kidnapped by the Dark Order, but
yeah.
I've actually softened on this guy and I'm beginning to like him, which is probably gonna make you happy. So now I'm torn because Darby Allin is facing Sammy Guevara, and I don't want to pick either one. Because I'm actually starting to like Sammy now. I love the signs. I love how he went to the pay-per-view in the tank and started talking about sacrificing Steiner math and all that shit. Like he wants to fuck over. I am now a fan of the Spanish God. So it pains me to have to choose between the Spanish God and the Gothic Peter Pan. This is Goth versus God. It really it's crazy. I'm gonna let you go. Who would you take between these two?
I love Sammy. He's fellow Houstonian, but if I'm looking at it for money wise, big picture wise, Darby's more of the main eventer. So I see them putting more behind on Darby.
Yeah, again, this is going to be a good match. It's going to be close. These two are two of the hottest names in AEW since they debuted.
And you gotta remember, he got more payback. Sammy's got more payback coming because he did break the skateboard on Darby again.
I know that was after the whole skateboard to the neck thing and crushing his windpipe or whatever they said. So, man, it's tough. I'm gonna, just to be different, I'm gonna say Sammy wins because somebody from the inner circle interferes. Like you're gonna get Hager or like Proud Powerful come down while the referee's out and just jump Darby and Sammy walks away with a cheap win. But it's gonna be a good match.
If it's Hager, that'll mean his match with
Dustin
will be the next match.
Right, which is the one we're going into next. Jake Hager finally making his AEW debut against Dustin Rhodes. Who you think takes this one?
I think it's going to be Hager, but I want it to be Dustin.
Yeah, I hear you. Like, I want it to be Dustin, but at the same time...
I think there's a reason why they've waited. Not just because he's had matches and...
Right, like he's got the...
But I think there's a reason why they've waited till now for this to be his first match.
I'm telling you, man, a lot of these matches, it's like they're so tough to call. Like even on the group forum, because if you're a member of Top Rope on Facebook, we put out prediction forms for pay-per-views. You can click out, fill out all of them, and then during the pay-per-view, we keep track of wins and losses for everybody. We let you know who's leading. We announce champions at the end. And man, going through this forum, I'm looking at the matches and I'm like, damn, don't make me choose. And this is
it's a solid card all the way through, pretty much.
It really is. I mean, I know people complain that AEW only does a pay-per-view every few months and it's $50 or whatever. When they give you a card for a pay-per-view, it's actually a damn good card, like every time. this is more of the formula that I'm used to growing up with, because you only got a WWE pay-per-view like once a month. And so they'd have like big feuds and big names at the pay-per-views having great matches. And now that they're like every other week, there's another fucking pay-per-view. Because we already had one, then we had Super Showdown, then we're gonna have Elimination Chamber a week from Sunday. So it's like every week you got another you got another show that's supposed to have big fight feel, but they don't have anything to go with. AEW is the opposite. They make you wait and marinate, and they build these stories so when they get to a pay-per-view card, the matches are awesome. And this one is the same thing. Like, I want Dustin to win, but I'm gonna pick Hager. I mean, he's been, behind the scenes, just kind of, helping out everybody else and getting in his backstage brawls. I know he broke Dustin's arm, and this dude's going to look for revenge, and he's going to bring it. Dustin has been, like, rejuvenated in AEW. He's, like, sucking the youth out of whoever.
It's been an awesome run. He's had an awesome run.
And it's going to be a great match, but I'll take Hager. I think he's probably going to edge one out, maybe even sneak in a low blow, Like, again, referee's back turn. Bam! Oh, my balls. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we got that. Oh, the next one is something we've been waiting for since pretty much Full Gear, which is MJF versus Cody Rhodes. Of course, MJF's probably going to have Wardlow, and Cody's going to have at least Arn Anderson, and maybe his wife, and maybe DDP, maybe the whole Nightmare family shows up. Who knows? But I know who Bruce wants. Who you got?
This is one of the hard ones.
They're all hard, man. I'm telling you.
I know it's hard, but this is one of the because if Cody has anything to do with the booking on this one, he's not going to want himself to win.
True.
He's going to want to put MJF over. MJF is the future.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, originally, when it all first started and Cody got taken out of the title picture, I was thinking MJF would win. The more this is going along, like, after Cody got his lashes, cut to MJF, and he's running looking scared. After Cody comes off the top of a cage and moonsaults Wardlow and gets the 3 count, MJF looked terrified. All this is making me think that maybe, just maybe, so you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna take Cody. I think it's gonna be a close match. It's tough to call, but I think Cody's gonna get his revenge here, and then maybe the feud continues. Maybe somehow they work it in where Cody puts something up in order to get into the title picture or something.
That's when he wins.
Because he's like
I don't see Cody winning anything until he's able to get himself back in the title
until they
picture.
put him back in the that makes sense too. But it's just crazy because he's winning now, and if you look at their rankings, he's always like 2 or 3 in the title rankings, and he can't fight for the title. So why is he even in the damn rankings?
Because they're building the storyline, bro. They're building it.
I know, and I like it. I'm just
slow.
saying. I think they're starting to kind of like bring the Elite back after they got their asses whipped for the first. Basically all of 2019 from October to January. And then once the new year hit, it was like, all right, now the Elite needs to be.
Since you brought up the Elite, can we go into the tag?
We were just about to, yeah. The tag team title match.
So is this when Hangman or Omega turn?
You have to think it
and Hangman officially leaves.
Because all the lead up to this is Hangman like kind of just putting a wedge in between the other 3, or walking away, or saying like he was trying to leave the Elite. Because anybody that's watched BT knows he tried to bounce.
Or does Omega turn? Because after last week they had it. The last 2 weeks they made it look like the Young Bucks and Omega and Hangman are fighting over Omega. Maybe Omega gets tired of it.
I still think it's going to be Hangman. I think he's going to somehow cost them the match against the Young Bucks. The Bucks are going to win, and Kenny's going to start celebrating with them, and then Hangman's just going to turn around, lay out all 3 of them, and walk away. I really do. It just seems like that's what they've been building to slowly, and I mean slowly.
are there in a moment in the match where Omega's in the ring and he has a chance to pin one of the Young Bucks and he hesitates and Hangman sees him
Just loses his shit over it.
and that's it. That's when Hangman
Yeah.
says, "Fuck it."
Yeah, or it's gonna be one of those things where like Omega's getting his ass kicked, and you know he starts to turn the tide, and he's crawling for the tag, and as he reaches out, Hangman just drops and walks away. Just not fuck it,
Yeah.
fuck you, fuck the Elite. I'm out. I'm done.
The turn is coming.
And to be honest, I think he's kind of taking offense to guys like the Bucks saying that he was just an ROH jobber before they found him. Because, like, I know Paige had that moment. I know he was that at one point, but when he went to New Japan, he had started to come up. Then they noticed him, put him in the Bullet Club, and things went from there. But it wasn't like he was just a nobody before he got to the Bullet Club. Like, people knew who he was. He was putting together some nice wins. He was getting there, and they just kind of elevated him and gave him that chance to shine.
He was no Flip Gordon. He was no Flip Gordon.
Right. He definitely was no Flip Gordon. But yeah, I think Hangman's going to turn. It's going to cost them the titles. The Bucks are going to get them, which it feels like forever. Because I know it's only been 4 or 5 months. But with all the title opportunities and all the losses they've racked up, you would have thought they'd be like 2-3-time champions by now. Nope.
Well, you know I'm a big what if guy, so I just got to throw this what if out there. What if it's not Kenny or Omega that turn, and it's one of the Bucks that turns, and we finally get the Bucks get their single?
I can't imagine the Bucks separating those. Like, that would blow my mind and break my heart at the same time. Like, I can't imagine. Like if it happened, it would be an amazing moment. But then after that moment, you're like, wait, we don't have the Young Bucks now? Like, what are they gonna do on their own?
If it happens, you heard it here first, folks.
If it happens, go back to the tape. Yeah, and again, that should be a great match too. I just think Hangman's probably gonna turn around, swerve Kenny.
Yeah, that's what they've been setting it up.
It's just been that like slow burn, and that's fine. I don't mind having to build to something as long as it finally happens. So of course now they add this match. I thought it was coming, but it wasn't on the rundown when I made the form. It is now, which is of course SCU, Frank Kazarian and Scorpio Sky with Christopher Daniels, maybe, against the Dark Order, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson with Silver and Reynolds. I mean, it's definitely something you could see coming. There has been all this talk about Christopher Daniels possibly being the Exalted One, and I don't know if that's gotten in the head of like Kaz and Scorpio. I'm going out on a limb. I'm going to say Dark Order wins this one. Because they're going to be so worried about Chris Daniels screwing them over or being in the Dark Order. They're not going to be paying attention to the Dark Order. It's just fatality, done.
I don't see Christopher Daniels being the Exalted One.
Mm-mm.
But I see the Dark Order winning. And them blaming Christopher Daniels for them losing. And Christopher Daniels becomes the fall angel again.
Yeah, I mean, the Dark Order have like rented space in SCU's head with all this stuff about Daniels joining or being the Exalted One or whatever, and I think it's going to cost them at this pay-per-view. And even though he might not be, because I think it wasn't this week, it was week before last when they had that brawl with the Dark Order and a few other tag teams. Mm-hmm. If you watch close enough, or if you're a part of our group, because somebody posted it there too, while they're brawling in the crowd, sitting right there behind the brawl is none other than Raven.
Yep.
Thinking, wait a minute. Why is he there? Like, is he the Exalted One?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It would make sense if it was Raven. I mean, he's had a couple of big factions, and they've been dark, and, this one's a little businessy for him, but I can see him.
Yeah, but a Dark Order, I guess. I'm just used to his flock, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They couldn't just come out and call it the flock, because then you'd immediately know who the Exalted One was. You'd be like, oh shit, it's Raven. It's Raven or it's Coco Beware. Like, there are your two options, and I don't think Coco's coming back anytime soon. Although we do miss you, Frankie. So If Raven was the exalted one, that'd be cool. There's been rumors about Matt Hardy, but in fact, it's a little too soon. There's even been those weird what do they call it, like code tweets, like computer code, where it was AEW tweeted out like the ones and zeros, and then Sammy did, Sammy Callahan did. Yeah, binary. My bad. Yeah. And then Sammy did, and somebody told me that it was, it was the binary code that AEW tweeted out was talking about the Dark Order.
Yeah,
and then
join the Dark Order.
Yeah, and then Sammy said, "Come find me.
Come find me." Yeah.
So there's a chance now that Sammy Callahan is somehow either with the Dark Order or maybe the Exalted One. That's another question we had, which
he doesn't have to be the Exalted One. If AEW got Sammy Callahan, that's freaking huge.
Yeah, will we actually see the Exalted One be revealed at Revolution, though?
I don't think so.
I'm kind of hoping that we do, because that's about the only thing that's keeping it interesting for me. Like,
because have we even gotten the Exalted One on screen or in the ring yet?
We've gotten him like in the shadows during a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
We've gotten like the pixelated voice in the background.
But we need to see him like on either in video or in the ring with the mask on or something.
Right.
And they can distort his voice or whatever, but we need to see him before we see him on mask.
That's true. That's true. I'm just hoping we finally get to figure out who this guy is. I mean, it's a little too early for Matt Hardy because his contract isn't up till the 1st, so we're like a day short. It could be Raven. It could be.
And for all we know, they might not even have an idea yet because the people they have ideas that are still under contract or some bullshit. So you never know. Things can change. It could be Matt Hardy, but Matt Hardy could change his mind.
Right. Because they offered him a position in NXT. I don't know if that's going to keep him there, but ask Reva.
Oh, that woman just needs to hush.
What do you think? Okay, he'll do it.
That woman just needs to hush.
I love her tweets though. Like she talks shit. Like
I do, but you know,
with the best.
Matt's up in age, so Matt's not doing it for the love of the business anymore. He's doing it for his boys. He wants to make sure his boys have something. So. And she needs to grow up sometimes.
I do love that he's training his young sons at the Hardy compound.
That is awesome.
How cool would it be to be a kid and be trained at the Hardy compound by Broken Matt? I mean, I did all the backyard bullshit because nobody told us back in the day, like, don't try this at home. We just went and did it.
It's gonna be awesome. They already got Team Extreme version 2, and it's all gonna be family members. It's gonna be Matt's 2 boys and Jeff's daughter. That's it right there. Team Extreme. They don't need to bring anybody else.
Right, it's gonna be fun. We got some stuff to look forward to in the future. That's gonna be cool. I can't wait to see that. It just, to be a kid. Oh, my bad. To be a kid and your dad's Matt Hardy and you're being trained in the Hardy compound. I mean, that's got to be like the best life ever.
Yep. He's already got him doing leg drops and everything, bro. It's crazy.
So let's see. What do we have left here? Obviously we got the women's title match. Nyla Rose defending against Chris Statlander. And again, this is another one, like, I could see it going either way, but I'm going to leave it to you first. Who do you think will win?
Chris Statlander.
Wow, you think they're going to pull the title from Nyla that quick, huh?
Nyla shouldn't have gotten the title in the first place. She's still too green. She needs more time.
I think, Nyla's come a pretty long way since last summer when she kind of debuted at their shows and pay-per-views, and she's still got a little bit of work to do, but I like the angle that they're coming from now with her, where she's just beating everybody's ass, putting everybody through tables, and disrespecting the shit out of people. And
that's the funny thing. Her promo work is awesome.
It's amazing.
When she's being a douche.
Yeah. I mean,
she doesn't care.
If you could take Nyla's
promo work, when she's being nice and shit, that's when her promo work
sucks. It's like Britt Baker trying to be a heel. It just doesn't fucking work. If they could take Nyla's promos and somehow put them in Britt, they'd probably have like the best female superstar in, wrestling today. But split it up and you got this one needs work and what the fuck is going on here? I can't see them pulling the title off of Nyla this quick. Like, I think it's going to be a great match. I love Chris Statlander. I really do. She's amazing.
If not, they might just be waiting until, because I don't think Kong wants to like wrestle.
Well, she does. She got put out with a supposed injury because she still had some filming for, I think, Glow, even though it got canceled. I think it still has one more season and then it's done. So they kind of work injuried her, so she'd go off, shoot her season, and then come back. I think they're kind of gonna let Nyla just ride this out and just beat everybody's ass until Kong is done, and then she'll show up and they'll have like Battle of the Beasts. You know, this is gonna be like it's gonna be like Godzilla against King Kong. Just and then I think Nyla drops the title, and from there I have no idea. And that's just opinion. I don't have any reports or anything. I'm not. That's my best Dave Meltzer impression. I heard from the boys in the back. But yeah, I don't see Nyla losing that title that fast. I really don't. I mean, she just won it a couple of weeks ago from Rio, and I think a lot of people are happy that Rio lost that title.
A lot of people were just hating on Rio, bro.
They were just hating because she's, so
she's
small,
tiny,
and
she's tiny.
There were people that were going as far as say she's a part-time champion like Brock, and I was like, okay, hold up. Like, at least, Rio is contractually obligated in other places where Brock is just sitting at home. So there's a difference. Like, I'm not saying I'm a huge Rio fan. I'm just saying she was catching some hate that she probably shouldn't have caught. Lord knows if Wendy was on here, she'd probably be jumping for joy because she hates Rio, and Nyla's a DC girl. So
Wendy got a thing against the small variety in the wrestling community.
Well, I
think that's a lot to do with herself.
You and I are both in like deep, long-term committed relationships, and when a woman sees somebody that's the size of one of their thighs, the immediate thing is hate. This is not a secret. I just have the balls to say.
Okay, but what she got against Rey Mysterio?
The plastic knees. The plastic fucking knees, yo. I'm like, yo, he got those plastic knees wrestling.
The Marco stunt, Rey Mysterio.
No, she loves Rhea. Marco. She loves Marco. She hates
because he looks like a kid. She loves kids.
She loves Marco because she's seen him in person. She hates Ray. She hates Rio. Plastic knees and bitches as big as one of my thighs. There's your reason. But I to be honest, I'm glad Nyla got the title. I think it's going to stop some of the flack, some of it, because you still have Muppets out there that talk shit about whatever. Just a little bit, and we're not going to go into that. But it's a good look. It's kind of spices things up in the women's division, which is starting. I'm not saying it's there, but it's actually. It's starting to improve a little bit. You can see these women getting some chemistry, getting some, kind of getting some time together and figuring things out and kind of putting together some better matches and getting some better angles going. So it's not there, but it's going in the right direction.
What they need in the women's division is what they have in the men's division. They need some vets.
Yeah, they really do. They really do. I thought Kong was going to be one of them, and then obviously she bounced.
But because she can't really be there all the time, she's filming Glow, so they need They need like a Victoria or somebody, a Jazz, somebody that's been through it.
Mick James. Yeah. I mean, clearly she can still go, and she's definitely been in the business for more than a cup of coffee. Like, she could lead that locker room pretty well. Yeah, Victoria would be another one just coming on. I don't know if she's wrestling anymore, but at least she could do like the backstage.
She ain't got to wrestle.
Just work with the girls, get their shit together, give them that psychology. Just tighten them up. That's definitely something that AEW needs, but at least they've definitely come a decent way. I actually want to see Penelope Ford in the ring a little bit more, not just because she's hot, but when you see her like wrestle, or even the stuff she did during like Janela versus Kip Sabian. Like, she can go. She's actually got some talent in a ring. And they're just strutting her around in some tight shit because she's hot. And I get it. But put her in the ring, too. Like, if you don't believe me, go back watch like Dark from a few weeks ago from the Jericho Cruise. They had the intergender match. It was Pretty in Pink, Kenny and Rio versus Kip and Penelope. Like, she dominated that match. They didn't win, but she looked damn good doing it. So I'd like to see her in the ring a little bit more. I just think they're starting to scratch the surface. They're figuring it out. That's cool, because Lord knows that shit was terrible. For a while, those matches were like, ugh. All right. So our next and last match is the big one. The AEW World Title match between Le Champion Chris Jericho
The hobo.
and everybody's favorite hobo John Moxley. I think the big question here is, will Moxley have his other eye back by the time this match comes? Because he's been wearing first it was an eye patch, and then it looked like he had Renee's black thong just stuck to his face.
You know, since it's Jericho and Moxley, I see Moxley keeping his patch on until like midway through the match, and Jericho like pokes him in the eye, and Jericho is laughing, and he thinks he has blinded him, and Moxley just takes the eye patch off, and it's like, "Ah, bitch, I can still see."
I'm better now, you know. Now I can use the other eye. I can only use one eye at a time. The hobo Cyclops. No, I'm again. This is going to be a great match. It's going to be close. I can see it going either way. I'm going to say this just to see his face. I think Moxley's going to win. There it goes. He's like, fuck you. And for Hope, because that's my homegirl. I love you, chicken.
Of course.
I think Moxley's going to pull it out. That may or may not be what I put on the form.
Everybody wants the second WWE guy to be AEW champion.
It's not just that, you know, like Jericho and Moxley kind of got out of WWE and saw the other side of things and went, you know what, this is pretty cool. I think I'll stick around, and then just decided to join AEW. So, you know, I think if it worked out for Jericho.
Yippee, let's just hand him everything. Yippee.
They're not handing him anything. He lost a goddamn eye over this.
Oh, yes, and he put himself through a table. Yeah, you're right.
That too. But, you know, he lost an eye. It's like, sorry, here's the title.
And in case y'all can't figure it out, I'm probably the only one that said that Jericho's keeping the title. So there you go.
I mean, I could pull it up and look at the early pie charts here and see what the, you know, because I have control of the pick forms.
It's gonna be like two picks. Moxley,
everybody asked
one random.
Everybody asked me before a show, like, "Oh, are you guys gonna go on and do like a preview show? Give us your picks and whatever." And I'm like, "Do you want these so you can figure out either what I'm picking or?"
Right.
So I might be picking these matches now and saying like, "Oh, I want Moxley to win," but I might have picked Jericho on the form because I ain't no dummy. My name is Dom, not Boo Boo the Fool. So, so if you think you're getting something off of me, you might want to think twice. That's all I'm saying.
It'd be a cold day in hell before I pick the hobo. I'm just throwing that out there.
And you know, I know we've already gotten, because they announced it on social media. They announced it on Dynamite. I know we already got Lance Archer. There's been a few other rumored competitors.
Which was awesome.
Oh yeah, it's going to be amazing. That's another reason that part of me hopes Moxley wins, because while they have that kind of like battle over the rematch and whatever, you could have Archer just dominating everybody left, right, and center. So if Moxley keeps that title, he has to defend it against Archer.
Moxley doesn't even have to win. What if Archer's the reason why Moxley loses?
Oh, now we're thinking. That would be good too. Like Archer comes out, screws Moxley, and then they get into a feud.
Like, everybody thinks it's going to be somebody from the inner circle, and it's not. And it's Archer.
You know, like Archer and Moxley have these like series of crazy matches, and whoever comes out on top goes to the next pay-per-view and fights the champion.
And he could take out both of them.
That could work.
Jericho, he could.
There's so many possibilities, but
take out Jericho. Moxley wins by disqualification or whatever the hell.
But I'm so excited that Archer. I'm so excited that Archer came to AEW. I mean, he did a lot in New Japan on his own.
He did. It's a smart move. It's a smart move.
Even being, you know, part of Suzuki Gun and part of KES and everything, like that was great. But when he got out on his own, it was like, damn, I've never seen this side of this dude, because he's been around for a minute. but you never saw the kind of look, the kind of style, the kind of attitude and gimmick that he put out there when he got out on his own in New Japan, and it was amazing. So I'm really excited for him getting back to the US, getting into AEW, because again, all this stuff
Speaking of
about
New Japan, did you see the what was going around on Twitter of William Regal's son?
Mhm.
He's
As a
one of
young
the new young lions.
Yeah, as a
That's
young,
gonna
I'm
be
sorry,
awesome.
as a young lion, my bad. I said young boy, young lion, my bad. Yeah, at the last show, the last few shows, he's been a young lion at the ring, and that's pretty cool too. I always love seeing like people's kids. Like obviously, The Rock's daughter just got signed to the Performance Center. Now you
Yeah.
got Baby Regal over here in Japan, and
Doing things the right way, like his daddy.
even even David Benoit's trying to get out there. You know,
Yeah, I don't know
I
how
know
far he's gonna get wanting to go as Benoit Jr.,
I
but we'll
shouldn't.
see.
I shouldn't bring up the Benoit name. We might get kicked right off of fucking YouTube. Well, hey, I'm sorry. The kid wants to get out there, be Benoit Jr. and get and train and fight
Max
and
wants to be the rabbit Wolverine like his father too.
yeah,
Wants the same music and everything.
he wants to literally be Chris Benoit Jr. Good for
It's gonna
him.
be hopefully.
I mean,
Uh,
I
it
saw
won't
the
be in
interview.
WWE, but hopefully somebody gives him a shot.
Yeah, I mean, he and Tony Khan seem to be like this, so if they wanted to throw a big finger at WWE, bring Chris Benoit Jr. into the ring.
I mean, if Jericho wants to say he's doing big moves in AEW, he could help a friend out and get
Right.
Chris Benoit Jr. in AEW.
But
That'd be good.
a lot of this talk is, AEW doesn't have big men. And then you look around, you see Wardlow debut, Hager's debuting. They got Luchasaurus. They've got Archer now. There's a few other guys being floated around saying they're coming to AEW. Brian Cage being one of them. So they may not have had some big guys before, but they do now.
Oh, they're coming.
If they're here and there's more on the way, is all I'm saying. I'm also wondering if we're gonna any of these like speculated names, whether it be like Brody Lee or Brian Cage or whoever. I'm wondering if they're gonna show up at Revolution and get involved somehow. Like I don't know how. I'm just saying, are we actually gonna see some of these rumors come true? Kind of like back at Double or Nothing when people were talking about, oh well, Moxley could be there. Everybody was wondering like, and by the end of the show, there he was.
Yeah, who's the next one that's gonna come out?
I mean, they definitely could use Archer, but there's a lot of names being floated around that could pop up at Revolution. It's going to be a good show, whether we get surprised or not. But it would be cool to see too. Trying to think if we got anything else here. We covered the whole damn show. Yeah, I mean we pretty much got everything. The only other thing because I mean AEW is great, but there's always something to knock, and they kind of went down this path that WWE has been going down. Let's just take two people, slap them together, and give them tag team titles. That's another reason I'm thinking Hangman's gonna walk, because they have so many tag teams in AEW. Why would you then turn around and throw two people together that are clearly better off as singles competitors and make them tag team?
I'm extremely disappointed in the way they've been treating the Lucha Brothers, man.
You and me both, dude. You and me both.
That's one of my favorite tag teams right there.
Oh God, that's my favorite tag team in AEW. Like and they're damn good. And over the summer we had the battles between like the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers for the AAA tag team titles, and I thought that was just going to transition right into Dynamite, right into the pay-per-views, and I was cool when like SCU took the titles because they deserved them. I mean, you can't knock it. Like Sky's a great competitor. Kaz and Daniels have been around for what, like 40 years combined.
Mm-hmm.
They deserved it. But then I figured, okay, so now we're going to get the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers and all this other stuff. And eventually one of these, top tag teams in AEW is going to take the titles from SCU. And it turns out to be Hangman
and fucking Omega, dude.
Like what? Like what? Where did that come from? So I don't want you to think. I said that because I don't want people to think like I'm just some AEW fanboy. I watch everything. I try. If WWE did something nice, I would be all up in it. Say, hey, did you see this shit? Like, This whole angle with Rhea and Charlotte getting the NXT title defended at, WrestleMania. I think that's fucking great.
Will it be a triple threat?
I doubt it.
No.
I'd rather just see the two of them, go at each other. But
yeah, but you know how WWE loves to do the.
I know they love triple threats, but to be honest, like because we grew up watching WrestleMania, it was always like those two big names coming together for one big like title match or title versus title or whatever the fuck. That's what made WrestleMania, and now all of a sudden you got triple
That's what
threat
they got John
ladder
Cena for.
matches. John Cena. I know he was on SmackDown tonight, which clearly I didn't watch yet. Do you really think they're going to give him number 17 at one point or another? Because it's starting to get to the point now where like he's never there. He's getting old.
I mean,
He's
yes,
got that,
they're going to give
he's
him
got
number
that,
17 because two reasons. One, fuck the fans. And two, they don't count some of his titles anyways. If they counted all his titles, it'd be like 21 instead of 17.
I mean, if we want to be honest, everybody's chasing R-Truth at this point. He's what, like a 34-time champion?
Facts. He's the true GOAT. He's the true GOAT.
R-Truth is the real GOAT. He may say he's looking up to John Cena. John Cena looks up to R-Truth. Facts. But, I want to see Rhea and Charlotte. I think it's cool that they're going to put an NXT title match on WrestleMania. I also think it's cool that if she was going to win the Royal Rumble, I mean, this is the best match possible. What was she going to do? Go back after Becky again? Go back after Bayley again?
Hey, Charlotte being at WrestleMania just means I get to see Ric Flair, so it's gonna be good.
Right? You would think Nature's gonna show up for Mania.
Right? You're gonna be wooing all over the place.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much all we got. So we're gonna sign off for now. Hopefully we'll be back to you next week. We're trying our damnedest to get the four of us on these shows, man. Like I come on, I got Bruce, but nobody else. I got Bruce and Wendy, but then Jose's got kidnapped. Now I got Jose back, and the Dark Order probably snatched Grandma Wendy and Bruce because they'd have joined that shit too. I think I'm the only one of us that didn't join the Dark Order, and they ain't messed with me yet.
They're trying to get everybody. They out in these streets.
They're snatching everyone. Be careful. If you've signed up for the Dark Order, go back and take your name off the list because they will come and get you. But we will probably see you next week, hopefully at full strength. Until then, if you got something you want us to talk about, if you want to come see, what we're all about when we're not doing these shows, please come to Facebook, search for Top Rope Wrestling Talk. We're a public group. We're growing by the day. We got a lot of content on there. And when you come in, it's not one of these groups that say like, oh, we'll post it and maybe we'll approve it or, or only the admin. No, anybody can post whatever they want as long as it's wrestling related. Just no Muppets. That's pretty much if you walk in and say, hey guys,
Waka waka.
gone.
Run around.
Just be respectful, keep it classy. Join in on the conversation, the title forums, everything. Have fun with us. Enjoy wrestling. If you're on Twitter and you want to see some of our wrestling followers and see us interact with like actual talent in the business, come find us at Top Rope WT on Twitter. It's starting to blow up too. We've got several wrestlers. I mean, we got everybody from like Jesse Goddard to the Neon Ninja to Christian Casanova, Alex Hammerstone. I mean, there's a list of pro wrestlers that are actually following us, which is like, thank you. You like us. You really like us. And as far as this show goes, if you're watching on YouTube, yeah, exactly. Hit the like button, share this shit around. Let everybody know where we're at. Subscribe. And, of course, leave those comments below. Now, if you want to take us on the go or if you prefer podcasts, that's easy too. Just go to anchor.fm/TRWT. Our website will pop up. You'll get a few options at the top if you're on your phone. One of them is immediately go to Spotify and listen to us. You'll see our episodes down below. Then there's going to be an options button, and you will see that we can basically be heard wherever podcasts are made, followed, and enjoyed. Pick your platform, folks. Really, we're on all of them, and just follow us wherever you're at. Give us some ratings, give us some comments, ask us some questions. Give us some content for this show. If we know what you want to hear, it's gonna make this shit a lot easier. You got anything else to add, Jose?
Fat boys need love too.
Good point. I almost forgot to say that. So, for our friendly, well, semi-friendly neighborhood clown, and from me, the South Philly Psycho, enjoy wrestling. Hope Revolution is dope tomorrow, and we'll catch you next week.